Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2610 of What's She Up To Now. Documenting my journey. This is the place where I just do like a video log and document my journey as I came online from the brick and mortar and corporate world of businesses, and then a little bit of back and forth again. Today we're talking about communication. Of course, all month long we're focusing on communication and how it interacts with the 9 areas of the life framework, right? This life framework that I've used it, this one, the 9-part one, since 2021. And prior to that, I had a 7-part life framework, which didn't include communication at all or confidence. You know, they were kind of built into all the other areas, but they weren't specifically called out until during the pandemic. I chose to get some extra coaching in those areas, not because I'd lost my confidence, not because I couldn't communicate, but those were areas that I wanted to improve, and they were core skills in the coaching program that I became a part of. So today we're talking about communication and how it interacts with all those areas. And it looks a lot like this. I know I've shared this graphic. I share it a lot because I think it's kind of awesome. It shows us that there's infinite connections and interactions between all the different areas of and aspects of our life. And if we try to separate them or just focus on them alone, we end up missing connections and lessons learned and awareness that can really help us in other areas and aspects of our life. If I understand how my communication is impacted when I'm feeling physically lower than when I have high energy, I understand the impact that that form of communication, or when I communicate in those different states, has on the message that I'm delivering, how I'm delivering it, how people are receiving it, etc. How we show up in the world is how other people interact with us. So if we're not showing up in ways that we want to, we're not getting the results we want, at least most of the time. So that's what we're working on today. I always create a list in my journal. I keep a journal and a book for each annual challenge that we do. Some years it has to be more than one book because I write a lot. It depends how much I engage in it. But last year, I think I got it all in one book, so I was pretty proud of myself. This year, I don't know. It depends on the journal that I pick and how much and how in depth I go in each of the different areas, as I'm doing the action items right along with you. So today, we're looking at all of the 9 areas and saying, okay, we're paying attention to how is this playing out in my communication. When I am hangry or tired or stressed out, my communication tends to be curt, short, and direct, right? Which isn't always appropriate for the situation. If I'm hanging out with my little granddaughters, I don't want to be curt, short, and correct just because what's going on in my head or what's going on with me physically. So we want to become aware of those things so we can choose our response and choose our reactions in a much more mature and better way, right? Because when we choose how we want to react in better ways, we become a better version of ourselves and we show up better in the world. And that sets the example for everybody else and gives them permission to as well. So that's all I've got today. Saturday, where I am, not sure what day it is where you're listening, but if I can help you in any way, just ask. I say that all the time. And guess what? Almost nobody does because everybody's scared to ask. But here's the rub. The thing is, as soon as you get up the courage to ask, usually you already know the answer, and the answer will come to you and you'll be like, I can't tell you how many times people ask. And they're like, okay, never mind. I asked, and as soon as I asked, it became really clear. The answer became really clear. That's why it's so powerful to sleep on things. If you've got a challenge or a situation, go to sleep expecting to have the answer, and by the morning, you usually have the answer. Like, way more often than not. At least that's how it works for me. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help, please ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.